In this video, I'm going to be sharing the 5 self-development books that help me be happier, improve my relationships, and help me find inner peace. I'm going to be sharing them in chronological order of when I discovered them, and I'll also be sharing who I think this is specifically for and the key lessons that I learned from this. Book number 5 is personally my favorite book of all time, and I'm so excited to share it with you guys, but we'll get to that in a bit. Let's start off with book number 1. Book number 1, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teens by Sean Covey. Now you might be wondering, why am I not sharing The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People? And I have a good reason for that. I actually do have the copy of 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. You've probably heard of this book already. If you don't, this is like one of the best-selling personal development self-help books of all time. I'll be completely honest, I did not finish this book because I got bored reading through it. It's definitely more like an older style of writing. It's not that particularly modern per se. Great principles though. The reason why I recommend this book, I think this book is perfect for anybody under the age of 30 if you live at home and or you're in school. Even though it says teens, I think it's just applicable to all young adults because it talks about school, it talks about friends, it talks about finding who we are, it talks about relationships, it talks about our relationship with our parents. I actually picked up this book when I was 17, and this came in at a time in my life when I was really like exploring my spirituality, exploring my faith. And I was taking a whole bunch of books out from the library on philosophy and just self-improvement, and this is one of the books that I took out. And immediately upon reading it, it just resonated so much with my 17-year-old self. I would literally read this at night, on the bus, at lunch. And I think the lesson that helped me the most at the age of 17 was habit number 1, which I'm gonna spoil for you. You can go read it and figure out the other 6 habits. But habit number 1, be proactive. Basically, there are 2 types of people in this world. There are reactive people and there are proactive people. Reactive people say, that's just the way I am, I can't change it, that's just the way it is, I can't do anything about it. Proactive people say, how can I improve? How can I be the best version of myself? Reactive people say, you made me feel this way, you ruined my day. I feel this way because of you. Proactive people say, how I feel is my choice. I'm not going to let your negativity rub off on me or ruin my day. I'm responsible for the way that I feel. And I think that's what was so helpful to me at the time, the idea of personal responsibility. And I know how unsexy that sounds, but I think as a 17-year-old, learning like, hey, I am the one who's responsible for my life, I think that's what makes this book such a gem. Book number 2, Awaken the Giant Within by Tony Robbins. I picked this book up about a year after reading The 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teens, and this is like the definition of self-help 101. It is such a self-helpy book. It is very thick. I'd say this book is perfect for anyone who wants to radically transform their life, who wants to break bad habits, and learn to take control of their thoughts and emotions. This book is a masterclass in behavior change. I think one of the key lessons from this book that really blew my mind was this idea that all thinking is the process of asking and answering questions. Now you might be thinking, wait, the process of asking and answering questions, is that true? Oh, there's a question right there. Or perhaps you might say, I don't believe that, I need some time to think about that. What you're really saying is, I need some time to go and ask myself the question and answer that question myself, see if that's true. And so what the book posits is that quality questions create a quality life. Your brain is like a search engine. It gives you whatever it is that you're searching for. If you're asking the questions, why does my life suck? Why is this happening to me? Why is my life so miserable? Your brain is gonna give you those answers and that's what you're gonna see. But if instead you're asking, what's right about this? What can I be grateful for? What can I learn from this? How can I grow from the situation? Then your brain will find those answers and that's what you're going to see, and ultimately that's what you're going to create. We are on a roll! Book number 3 on the list is actually one that I don't have a physical copy for, and that is Ego is the Enemy by Ryan Holiday. Full disclosure, I listened to this as an illegal free audiobook on YouTube. I watched one of those videos where they upload the audiobooks for free. I'm not saying that you should do this, but I did, and I took a lot of notes. I'd say that this book is perfect for anyone who has ambition and wants to do great things, anyone who has a talent and a skill that they're trying to build a life off of. This book came to me at such a pivotal moment. In summer 2020, this was right after I had stepped off of TikTok, stepped off of social media and everything that I built prior to then. And it kind of just cracked through the shell of ego that had formed in doing all of that. It kind of made me realize, whoa, so much of what I was doing was for the validation of other people and for the acceptance of strangers online. And recognizing that and having that reality call was like, whoa, bro, that's deep. It's so easy to fall in love with the image instead of the actual craft and the actual process. And I think throughout 2020, after I read that book for the rest of the year, I was basically just shifting my entire focus. I no longer told people I want to be an artist. No, I'm just like, I want to create art. I want to do something that matters. In life, you have the choice. You can either be somebody important or you can do something truly important. And when it comes to being somebody important, like the path is pretty straightforward. You play the part, you impress people, and you play the approval game, right? But on the other hand, when you're doing something important, that's truly important and significant, there's no guarantee of fame, there's no guarantee of money, there's no guarantee of status or prestige. At the end of the day, you have the satisfaction of knowing that you did something that truly mattered and that you weren't following ego, that you weren't following validation or acceptance, but instead you were following virtue and values. Damn, I'm coming up with this shit on the spot. Book number 4 is in the perfect spot, and it is The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. I love this book. It is such an easy read. The book is super short, super simple, skinny legend. I'd say that this book is perfect for anyone who wants to improve their relationship with other people and also their relationship with themselves. Basically, The 4 Agreements is a book of Toltec wisdom, and the Toltecs were a Mesoamerican, pre-Columbian culture that ruled around like Mexico and like that kind of area. The 4 Agreements are 4 pieces of simple Toltec wisdom that, if integrated and truly applied, can change your entire life. I'll share 2 of the 4 agreements. Agreement number 2, don't take anything personally. Nothing others do is because of you. What others say and do is a projection of their own reality, their own dream. When you are immune to the opinions and actions of others, you won't be the victim of needless suffering. Agreement number 3, don't make assumptions. Find the courage to ask questions and to express what you really want. Communicate with others as clearly as you can to avoid misunderstandings, sadness, and trauma. Don't make assumptions. That one's so powerful right there, because how many problems in life were created by simply making an assumption that somebody meant malintent, right? Or even just simple things like you're just driving down the road, someone cuts you off in traffic, and then you're like, you take it personally, and then you make an assumption that they were doing it because they hate you. That's needless suffering right there, right? This book, massive help for relationships. And now that brings us to book number 5, my personal favorite book of all time, the book that has changed my life more than any other. I'm so excited to talk about this. The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. Where do I even begin? I think you need to be ready to read this book. It's like that old saying, when the apple is ripe, it'll fall, or when the student is ready, the master appears. I tried reading this book actually when I was 18 and I didn't understand it. I was like, what is this spiritual woo-woo nonsense, consciousness, being? I didn't understand it at all, and so I dismissed it. But after exploring meditation more, just mindfulness and just peace and just that realm of spirituality, then when I read this book, I was like, it all clicked. I'd say, yeah, this book is very profoundly spiritual, but not in like a weird, like, crystals, tarot, like energy of the universe, chakras aligning kind of way. If anything, it's like spiritual philosophy. It's not a belief system like this dude came down from, wherever, or like do this and you will be, all that kind of stuff. It's just simple spiritual wisdom and philosophy. It doesn't ask you to believe anything. It just asks you to find, what's within. The most profound thing that I learned from this book is that there's a deeper level to life, a deeper level to awareness and just being fully present. That inner space of no thoughts, of just simple, full awareness. And it's not like a smoke and get high kind of awareness. It's just a fully present, fully here in the present moment. When I first read this book, I was literally just sitting on park benches for like hours doing nothing except just looking at the trees and just enjoying the fullness of life right here, right now. I literally like meditated on my rice cooker cooking. I sat down and just stared at my rice cooker, and it was an amazing experience. I know it sounds crazy. Like, whoa, he meditated to his rice cooker, he sat on park benches, but I'm telling you, that's what this book does to you. So yeah, highly recommend it. Love this one a lot. And those right there are the 5 books that changed my life. But before you click off, if you have any book recommendations, comment them down below. This is not an engagement hack. It's not for the algorithm. I'm like genuinely curious. I'm looking for more books, and it's also going to help out someone who's also looking for more book recommendations as well. We're a family here. We're all growing together. That's what this channel is for. So help other people out and help me out. Drop in the comments below. And if you want to see what a day in my life looks like as a college dropout, you can click right here. And with all that being said, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.